Hello vlog, it's been a while. Welcome back to Tokyo. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. I'd say it's about 15 degrees outside. You can see Tokyo Skytree just there from my balcony. And today I'm going to shout out my vlog to an old high school friend of mine called Sharon Taylor. Sharon, this one's for you. You'll be in it a couple of times. A friend of mine called David Adams, who I haven't seen for a while, but David and I are good friends, and we've done some running together. And anyone else who does running, Anthony and his wife Alison, who do some running in America and Canada. Anthony actually ran the Boston Marathon, and anyone who's a serious runner will know that that's a tough challenge, even just to get in to the Boston Marathon, let alone finish it in a good time too. So a shout out to anyone who does some running, and today is about running. I'm going to go out for a run for the first time in a couple of weeks, maybe a month. But before I do, I thought I'd run through some of the equipment that I use. And the reason I was thinking of this was specifically for you, Sharon, because Sharon posted on Facebook recently that she was, I think it was recently, or maybe it was one of those posts that came back from years ago, you know, those memory posts. But it said that Sharon was finding it hard to train for a marathon. So I thought I'd look at some of the marathon gear that I use, and particularly the first thing I thought I'd do was look at these bad boys here. These are the earphones I use, and they're Bluetooth earphones, so they don't have a wire that runs to my arm or runs to my iPod. They run by Bluetooth, and I totally recommend this kind of headphones. This wire goes behind your neck and connects the two ears to each other, to the earphones, and they work really well. They can kind of sort of fall out a little bit. This kind of tag here is supposed to keep the earphone in place, and it usually works okay, but when you've been running for a few kilometers and get a bit sweaty, it can fall out. So I was thinking of you, Sharon. I was thinking, I don't know what you do for music. I find it really good to listen to music when I run, and I just kind of zone everything out, listen to the music, and then plod along. And I'm very much a jogger, everybody, not a runner, a jogger. And I aim to do 1 kilometer in 6 minutes, so 10 kilometers in an hour. And if I could continue that pace, a marathon would take me about 4.5 hours, but I've never even cracked 5 hours for a marathon. So the other thing that I wanted to share with you about equipment as well was this here. This is like it's almost like a little bum bag, or a fanny pack, I think the Americans call it, you know, and this sort of stretches out so you can keep things in it. And one of the most important things that I keep in there, bonk, is a tiny tub of Vaseline. I don't know if any other runners do that, but I totally recommend people do that. And I remember this actually came from a marathon I ran. I don't know if you can see that, it's upside down. It says Kawaguchiko Marathon, is it? Kawaguchiko Marathon. Kawaguchiko Marathon, 35th Kawaguchiko Marathon, which I ran a long time ago, and this was actually in the bag at the end. You get these prizes at the end, and I've used it ever since, and it's brilliant just for keeping things like your phone and stuff in. But they don't run this marathon anymore, so the next year, this marathon used to be around a lake, and you actually ran around the lake twice, and it was a nightmare because you'd run around once, you know, and do about 25 kilometers and see the finish line, and then it would be like, oh, you have to run around the lake again. You'd run all the way around the lake a second time, having seen the finish line, which was quite a mental challenge. But they changed it so that instead of going around a lake 2 times, what they did was they had you go around half of this lake, Kawaguchiko, and then across and go around a smaller lake and back, and then do the final part, so you weren't punishing yourself mentally. But they changed the name to the Fujisan Marathon, and this was the finisher's medal from that. Really cool medal in the shape of Mount Fuji, as you can see there. So probably my favorite finisher's medal of the 5 marathons that I've run. So this some of the equipment I use. This will be a bit controversial, but this is the watch that I use to track my runs. It's a Nike GPS watch. A lot of people swear by Garmin, and that's fine. I mean, everybody likes their different tools and things, but I liked this watch because it hooked up with a chip in my shoe as well as GPS, so it gave me really accurate readings about pace and distance and stuff like that. The chip has since broken, so I no longer use that, but I use the watch with the satellite GPS, and it works really well for me. So I do recommend the Nike GPS watch if that's something you guys are interested in. And of course, in Japan especially, sunglasses very important for the sunny, beautiful weather. The low winter sun, especially, is very challenging for running with. But I think my sunglasses have seen better days, as you can see here. Look at that, the nose pieces come off. I've tried everything I can to glue it on, to get that reattached, and it keeps on coming off. It's a nightmare when you're running as well, because the sweat makes that little bit come off of the fob there. If you look there, there's a little sort of connecting fob in the middle there, and you have to readjust it while you're trying to run, which is a bit of a nightmare. So, but most importantly of all, I suppose a runner's gear is his shoes. And this is a shout out to Mark in the Philippines, a shoe collector down there, who I heard recently likes his Max. He likes his Nike Air Max. Now, again, controversial. A lot of people don't like to run with Nike shoes, but you can see that these ones, Nike Air Max, the air bubble runs the length of the shoes. Now, let's be honest here, folks. This isn't me trying to sound like, you know, something I'm not. And what I'm not is light. You know, just saying, I'm not a light man. I find these shoes are great because I worry a lot about the damage I do to my ankles and my knees when I'm running. And I'm hoping that by cushioning the entire length of my foot, I'll be taking care of my ankles and knees. And as you can see, these are Nike Air Max 2016's Doug. I think the other one says Lee. Yeah, it does say Lee, because they're actually called Nike ID. I don't know how many people are familiar with Nike ID. Now my feet are very big, and you can buy on shop shelves, you can buy 30 centimeter size shoes very easily, but my perfect shoe size is 30.5, so I need to order these, order made to get them in my perfect shoe size, 30.5 centimeters and wide. I like my shoes to be wide. So when you order, it turns out you can also do this Nike ID thing that you design them yourself. So shock horror, I actually chose this design. These colors are all chosen by me. Everything from the sole to the color of the fabric, the color of the swoosh, the color of the laces, even the color, this purple color on the inside here, everything is chosen, and then you can choose what writing you want to have in your tongues there. So so Mark in the Philippines, here's a one of one Nike Air Max that you'll never see elsewhere in the world. They're very heavy, which is one of the reasons why people don't like to run in them. But like I say, that cushion on the bottom is very important for me personally. So, but while I'm on the subject of Nike Air Max, before I do actually walk out the door and go for this run, which I'll share with you guys later, here is my favorite Nike Air Max of all time. These are 1993's Nike Air Maxes, and I'm not a rich man. Let's be honest. I'm not a light man, and I'm not a rich man. I'm not pretending here. So instead of getting a BMW for my 40th birthday, I got these shoes, and they're 1993 Nike Air Max, and they're exactly color and everything the same shoes I had when I was 17. So for my 40th birthday last year, 1 year ago, I said, right, I'm going to track down these shoes. They were my favorite all-time shoes. I thought they were super cool with the air bubble through the back, and that they were just the smartest shoes in the world, the nicest shoes I'd ever owned, with this kind of sock effect up here. Really, really cool shoes. The bubble actually burst on my original pair, and I got a refund, but they didn't have these in stock anymore, so I ended up buying a pair of Adidas. So anyway, when I turned 40, there you go, I bought myself a pair of Nike Air Max 1993s, in exactly the same color that I had when I was 17. So Mark in the Philippines, there's your one of one Nike IDs Air Max 2016, and your, I don't know, like one of 50,000 Nike Air Max 93s. All right, I'm going to head out the door wearing these, not going to run in my 93 Nike Air Maxes. I'm not taking my medal with me, but the rest of the stuff will be coming with me. And I'll be heading down the river where you've seen me cycle a lot, but you've never seen me run, so or jog, not run. And Sharon Taylor, as I said, this one's for you. Hopefully in here somewhere there's something to inspire you. And the video cut out because my iPhone had reached maximum capacity in its memory. Didn't think I'd ever do that, but I guess vlogging videos takes up a bit of space, so deleted a couple of apps, so now I've got enough space to finish my sentence about you, Sharon, because what I was saying trying to say anyway before I got cut off, was that Sharon, what she wrote on her Facebook was that training for a marathon stopped her from enjoying running. She enjoyed running until it became the chore of training for a marathon, which is extremely hard. That marathon's 26 miles, 42 kilometers. You know, the training can be really, really tough. And so I'm hoping that all of this talk and chatter, showing my gear and a little bit of chat behind my running, showing my dogs. Molly, what are you doing? She's ignoring me. Kind of get used to that in my house. Boom, boom. I'm hoping that maybe this will help inspire Sharon, and that Sharon will enjoy her running again, whether it's training for a marathon or whether it's just getting out there and pounding the streets of Tullibody in Alloa, where I grew up. So yeah, like I said, time to get out there and run. So I'm going to say goodbye to Molly, who's ignoring me, dog, and Suri. Hello, Suri. How you doing? You beautiful dog. And I'm going to grab my gear and I'm going to head on out. Weather's turned a bit cloudy. I thought I'd share this here. I think these are, Joanne would be able to tell me, so Joanne, if you do know, let me know. I think these are plum blossoms, and these ones here are cherry blossoms. So you can see the plum blossoms, or whatever they are, already starting to bloom. But the cherry blossoms aren't out yet, the sakura. And these here will bloom as well later on in the spring. So it'll look very nice. I'll probably do some vlogging at that time of year as well. There's the river, but I'm actually going way over there, about a kilometre to a different river, the one I usually cycle along to get my running. So yeah, I was thinking about this season. It's late March, or is it mid-March? And apparently, possibly, my dad will be coming out to visit me next spring. So Dad, this is probably the kind of weather that you'll be getting. Maybe another week and all of this will be beautiful blossoms for you. So late March, early April 2018, sorry, that's in the calendar. So yeah, I'm all ready to go. Just going to cycle across and get this run started. Back by the river, where I'll start my run. As usual, here's the 11-kilometer marker, and I'm going to head upriver today. Which I've done every time, I think, for the cycles that I've done. Heading up to 16k and back down again. Whenever I run, I always try and run in a straight line one way, reach a midpoint, turn around and come back, because I am really terrible for giving up midway if I've got the option to. So I have to run as far as I can in one direction and then have no option but to run back in the other direction. And that usually works, but when I was training for a marathon once, I did a 30-kilometer run here where I ran 15 kilometers up that way, turned around and ran back, but 5 kilometers back, so still 10 kilometers to go, I had a terrible case of chafing in a very uncomfortable area, and I don't mean area of the riverside, and I just could not run any further. Now, what I hadn't done, and what I have since done, is worn leggings, these sort of lycra undergarment leggings, Under Armour, which stop your jiggly bits from, well, jiggling. But this time I didn't have them, I hadn't bought them yet, new to running. I got terrible chafing and had to walk a whole 10 kilometers all the way back. In fact, I think I might have given up halfway and just gone and gotten on a bus somewhere. And took a bus home. So and that reminded me of Scott Jameson, so shout out to Scott Jameson, who Sharon and I went to high school with at Lawrence Hill Academy. A shout out to anyone from Lawrence Hill Academy, because Scott, I remember when he was young, me and a guy called Stephen Guzik and Scott, we used to hang out a lot, especially Friday and Saturday nights, going out to Treetops in Alloa. And we would start the night at Scott's place, drink a bit because that's cheaper than drinking in the pub, and then when we got suitably drunk, then head down to the pub. But Scott had this thing on his wall, a little postcard on his wall that said, the unlucky learn from experience and the lucky learn from the experiences of others. So in the case of Doug and his jiggling and chafing, I unfortunately was unlucky and I had to learn from experience. But from that experience, I've now bought some Under Armour gear, well, actually now bought. I bought it a long time ago, but Under Armour stuff to avoid that. And I do carry a little tub of Vaseline with me in case of emergencies. And more on that tub of Vaseline later. I think I'll tell you the Vaseline tub story when I get to the 16-kilometer mark, which is my halfway point goal today. So without further ado, it's time for me and my watch, which is telling me it's ready to start, to get this run started. There she blows, 16k mark. A few runner friends of mine will be mortified to know that that was my pace. Terrible, 6:50 per k, which is very, very slow. But like I said, I'm a jogger, not a runner. And so I'm going to walk up a little bit and have a bit of a breather. I'm going to keep my watch running though, because a breather is as much a part of a run as the actual run itself. So when I get finished, my average time and average speed, I should say, will be a little bit skewed by this, but I think it's fair to count it because having a break in the middle does affect the second half. So as promised, a little story about the Vaseline. I do have my little pouch around my waist there that I got at the Kawaguchi Co-Marathon, which I think I ran with Daiso. And then the next year they changed the course, so instead of going around one of the lakes at Fuji, Mount Fuji twice, he went round a different lake and then back round the other half of the first lake. And while I was running it, I ran it with a good friend of mine called Dave, one of the best runners I know. I was thinking while I was running just now, he's probably the second best runner I know, and I apologise, Dave, that you're not the first. But the first definitely is Anthony Fromm, because Anthony does two things that are absolutely amazing. Number one is he runs for charity, so Anthony, big thumbs up to you there. But the other thing he does is he runs in the deep cold winter in Canada, which includes ice and dodging bears. Well, maybe not in the winter, maybe in the autumn and the spring. It's not hard to dodge a hibernating bear, I gather. But yeah, Anthony's a great runner. So anyway, Dave and I, we ran the first ever Fujisan Marathon, it was called, together, and we set off fine and dandy together. But he's a very good runner. He's kind of like a gazelle, whereas I'm like a hippo. So he sort of shot off and did a wonderful run in something like 4 hours, where I took like 5.5 or something like that. So I'm running, you know, I've got my little pouch around my waist there, Vaseline in there, you know, I've got my iPod and all that stuff, and I get to the 35k mark. So there's still 7 kilometers to go, and I'm starting to feel a bit chafy around about the nipples, you know, feeling a bit tender, which does tend to happen, you know, truth be told. And so I thought, okay, I better reach down, get my Vaseline out of my little pouch here, and you know, lube up a little bit so as to avoid looking like Aladdin, having no nipples at all. And so I reached down at the 35k mark, and the Vaseline's gone. It's not there. I'm running along, like reaching down, like grabbing my crotch. Everyone's looking at me like, what the hell's that guy doing? And it's gone. I've dropped my Vaseline somewhere. So I had to run the last 7 kilometers of the Fujisan Marathon, holding on to my nipples. It was the strangest sight you'll ever have seen. This big guy like trundling along, grabbing his tits. But you know, lesson learned. Make sure that you keep your Vaseline tucked in there, and it's definitely worth having. So again, Scott Jameson, Doug Lee learns unluckily from experience rather than from the experience of others. Anyway, so that's my little Vaseline story at the 5k mark. So I've made it all the way up to 16k, and I'm going to pull a U-turn and head all the way back down to the 11k mark. Hopefully my time won't be too terrible, but to be honest, it's the first time I've run for quite a while. And swing, Jay, swing. So I'm not really fussed about my time, since it's been about 4 weeks since I ran. But you know, you can see the little blue marker just beside this tree here, where I want to start running again. So I'll pack my phone away, get my iPod switched back on again, and see if I can bang out this last 5k in at least some kind of reasonable jogger's time. Japan. Here I am at the 14 kilometer marker. I was just running along, enjoying the run, not thinking of stopping, but then I came across this here. It's a couple of homeless guys. But being Japan, you know, high-tech centre of the world, even the homeless guys are powered by solar panels. wonder what the hell he's got in there that needs like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 solar panels. Homeless in Japan. Oh boy. Alright, there's the 11k marker there. So I think I'll go upstairs. Get a better view to finish my run. Not too bad. Beautiful day, beautiful evening. Those clouds from earlier skipped past without too much trouble. And time to stop the watch. Not the fastest run I've ever done, but there we go. Good enough. See the shadows stretching in the evening sun. So there we go. Little 10k. I hope Sharon, if you get a chance to watch this, inspires you to get back there to running for fun. It's always good to get out there. You always feel good at the end of a run, maybe not during it. and that's me done. I think I'll just sign off. I just remember when I was running another chafing issue that I had when I ran with a white shirt in a rainstorm once, and I hadn't realised, but I'd managed to bloody both of my nipples, and I finished with 2 red stripes running down the front of my shirt, but I hadn't noticed because of the rain. So Lord knows what these people would have been thinking as I was running past them. But such is life, such is life. Get out there, get yourself a good jog. Anyone out there who's thinking about doing some exercise and sort of half on the sofa and half out the door, hopefully this will give you that 1% push to take it out the door and go and do something. Cycle, run, even walk the dog. It's always good. So shout out to you guys, to Mark, the one of ones. The one of ones made it, no damage done, although my right knee's a little bit sore, which is one of two I suppose. But yeah, good run, good day. And I think I'll head off home and go take a shower and relax for the rest of the evening. Take good care, people, whoever's out there watching this. Hopefully I'll see you all soon.